guys, welcome back to another video. About 4 weeks ago, a month ago, I did a video on how my small business made over $100,000, and I went into some detail. I tried to really focus on the pros of starting your own business and kind of what I've learned along the way, and just try and make it as useful and helpful for you guys as possible. There was a lot of positive feedback. You guys wanted more transparent, open, honest videos like this. So I'm going to be doing that again today. I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things that I wish I knew before I started my own business. Again, I felt like that last video really focused on the highlights, and again, this is going to focus on some highlights too, but I also want to get into the nitty-gritty of starting a business and kind of just, you know, the things that come up along the way and things that I wish I knew. Now, before we get into the rest of the video, I do want to give a huge shout out to Clearco for sponsoring today's video. I'm actually really excited to talk about them because this is actually something I just recently discovered probably about a month ago. I didn't even know that there was an option like this, and I do kind of wish maybe we can work this in as like the 6th thing that I wish I knew before I started a business, because what they're doing I think is very innovative, and it's actually creating a good partnership between not only Clearco but also yourself. So let me tell you about them. So if you're not familiar with Clearco, they actually were formerly known as Clear Bank. They are actually the largest investors for e-commerce businesses worldwide. So they have a product called Clear Capital, and it is essentially growth capital that is used to help you scale your business while allowing you to keep 100% ownership. Now, Clear Capital is basically growth capital that is used to scale your business while allowing you to keep 100% of your business and 100% control. They provide founders like myself and like yourself with the capital and guidance to actually help you scale your business without breaking the bank. Here are some things that I actually think are really unique about Clearco. 1, they don't take any equity. I'm sure many of you guys have watched things like Shark Tank. It's very common when people are investing in your business to say, okay, but what's in it for me? That is so incredibly common. They don't believe in that. They believe that founders should keep as much equity as possible of their business, and that's really amazing to me. 2, no personal guarantees. They strongly believe that there should be no link between a founder's personal life and their business. They're not gonna come after all of your personal belongings. And 3, and probably the most important one to me, is that there is no interest. Everyone's gonna have something that's gonna stand out to them more, but for me, I hear no interest and I'm like, you have my attention. They are anti-periodic or compounding interest, which is only saving you more money in the long run. They're not trying to scam you. I know that they're a company that I'm gonna consider using as I get to a place where I'm actually starting to need some growth capital for my business. So I'm really excited to have worked with them. Thank you again so much to Clearco for sponsoring today's video. And let's get on with the 5 things that I really wish I knew. First things first. The first thing I definitely wish I knew when I started my own business, or just started being an entrepreneur in general, is that it is really hard. And I think that there are so many people that talk about starting your own business and make it seem so easy, kind of like my last video did. And you kind of see that and you're like, oh, I can do this, no problem. But no. Realize that it is an uphill battle for almost the majority of the time until it becomes kind of like a sedentary walk. It is so stressful. There are so many things that you need to learn, not only about yourself, but about time management, about hiring, about being a boss, about budgeting, financing, taxes. There is a lot that you need to learn, and that's not to say that it's not impossible. There are so many people that start their own businesses and absolutely crush it and learn along the way, aka kind of like myself. But that doesn't mean that there is not going to be so many moments where you want to literally just break down and cry. So as long as you go into it with the mindset, honestly, I'd even encourage therapy. There, I said it. Like, I already am a huge mental health advocate, but I especially think when you're starting your own business that having some sort of therapist or even a life coach that you can go and talk to and rely on and count on to help you on your journey is going to be really important. And if you can't hire a therapist or a life coach right now, find somebody really close in your circle that you can trust and you feel that you can kind of have as a confidant in your life to share your struggles with, but just be prepared. There's a lot to learn and it's gonna be hard for a very long time, but it's worth it in the end. I'm like 30% up the hill, and I still know I have so much more to go and I've got so much more stress to endure, and I'm here for all of it. It gets worth it. It becomes worth it, not it gets worth it. 2, expect to reinvest. Maybe expect to not even pay yourself out for the first year, 2 years, maybe even 3 years. It really is dependent on what your structure is, what your model is, and what your goals are. But for me, I didn't pay myself out for the first year. I just paid myself out the last 2 months with Hot Rose, because all of the money that I made would go directly back into inventory, directly back into shipping, cost of goods, my website, my Facebook marketer, my ads. Like, I just knew that if I wanted to pay myself out, it just wasn't really worth it. I still had debt kind of slowly piling up on a credit card, and that debt that I wanted to pay off. It's a whole money cycle, but just expect and be prepared for the money that you make to just need to go directly back in, because as your business is scaling, you're gonna be ordering more and more inventory. I mean, if you're running some sort of an online business where it's all just like an ebook or something like that, that's different. But if you are actually buying goods or you're making goods, you need to be prepared to scale. So you're going to need to take all of that money that you just worked so hard to get and put it right back into the business, and definitely work with that in mind. Some people could say like, oh, I had a $10,000 month, which is amazing, congratulations. But are you gonna be able to pay yourself out? Because now you have no inventory. So before you consider quitting your day job, make sure that you can actually pay yourself out before just bouncing. Expect to reinvest. Number 3, celebrate the small victories. I want you to celebrate your first order that you ever get. I want you to celebrate your first 100 followers that you get on your Instagram account, your first 100 orders, whatever the case is. You need to be celebrating the entire journey, because there are so many more victories that are going to come, but you're not gonna feel the true reward of celebrating each moment unless you started at the very beginning. That's why you'll see like mom and pop shops that'll have like their first dollar that they ever made framed in, you know, like in a picture somewhere. I see that a lot here in Los Angeles. People will have the first dollar that they ever made framed, because it's like, look at that. Somebody saw the value in my business and they came and gave me money for an exchange of services in some way. But how exciting is that? So celebrate every small victory. The first month that Hot Rose did $4,000, I was super excited. The first month that Hot Rose did $20,000, I was super excited. And the first month that Hot Rose did over $35,000, I was super, super excited. I was so excited the first time Hot Rose did over $500 a day in sales, like on average. I was so excited when it did over 800, when it did over 1,000, and when it finally did over 2,000, which I haven't had too many of those days, but when it does happen, I'm like, whoa, it just, you celebrate every single victory, and every milestone is a milestone, and treat it like that. Go out for drinks, or, you know, treat yourself to like your favorite little dessert, or do something to celebrate it and mark it and remember it, because there's so many more things to come, but you should be celebrating each moment. 4, pay attention to the numbers. Money talks, baby. It talks, and it has its own unique language, and it is communicating with you on a regular basis. Pay attention to the analytics, pay attention to the sales coming in, pay attention to the amount that you're spending on your cost of goods. Pay attention to all of it. There are so many times that I have had to go back and recalculate things with either my financial advisor or with Adam, who helps me with my Facebook marketing, but also does so much more than Facebook marketing, and I am so blessed to have this guy. It goes beyond Facebook marketing with him. It is so important to crunch all of the numbers, because you want to make sure that you are not only profitable, but that the profit margin is going to make sense long term. I honestly don't feel like there's much more that I can say. I am crazy. Like, I look at my numbers and I balance my books all day, every day. Not so much anymore. I've gotten a little bit better, but I spent a lot of time in the beginning paying attention to just how much money was going into the business and just how much I was earning back. And it was super stressful, and I don't recommend it, but also I highly recommend. I don't recommend it for the sake of your stress, but I highly recommend it, because then you know the things that need to be tweaked. There are so many things that I've had to change detail-wise, like the discount codes that I offer, the cost of shipping for my customers. All those things have had to change due to my profit margins and how much money is going into the business and how much money is coming out of it. No other way to really put it. Just pay attention, pay close attention. And 5, this is probably the most important. They're all pretty important. I was gonna say this is the most important one, but I feel like they're all equally as important. Growth is not always linear. And if you expect it to be linear, you are in for a surprise. You are going to have moments where your business is booming, and you're gonna have moments where it dips and it's up and it's down and it's up and it's down. It's a very volatile thing. Some people might say like, oh no, my business, it's just been going up. And I'm sure it has, but when you look at it on a day-to-day, hour-to-hour, minute-to-minute basis, it ebbs and flows. It's gonna have dips, it's gonna have highs, it's gonna have lows, it's gonna have all of it. And I drove myself crazy with that in the last couple months, because last month was not a great month for my business and I was super bummed out about it. But most of the time when your growth isn't linear, you can quickly find out why. Now, sometimes you'll be lucky enough to know why the growth isn't linear. You can go back and look at your numbers, or you can pay attention to maybe some stock issues that were happening, or maybe your bestseller was not available, you couldn't get your hands on enough items, or whatever the case is. Sometimes you can figure it out, but sometimes it really is just that businesses have slow months. Somebody actually told me that October can be like a really, really slow month for businesses. I never knew that before. It's been okay for me. It hasn't been super slow, but I'm sure there are some businesses that are kind of taking a hit right now. I'm sure Halloween businesses are not. But you get my point. Growth isn't always going to be linear, and you need to be prepared to go on this entire journey of the ups and downs, because it is, again, only the beginning. I have so many more things that I've learned that I would love to share with you guys, and I probably will continue to do this. If you guys made it this far in the video, do me a favor, comment down below some videos regarding entrepreneurship or starting a business that you would like to know, starting a small business, okay? Your girl is a CEO, but she's not that crazy, okay? She's figuring it out every day. My business is still in my home, but I've learned a lot, and I want to continue to share stuff with you guys, and I think it would be a lot of fun to continue to share. And I think it would be a lot of fun to continue to share stuff with you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor and throw this video a thumbs up. Comment down below what you'd like to see next, and also what your favorite tip was. Or if you have anything that you've struggled with, or you've experienced, or things that you wish you knew before you started your business, please let me know. I'm sure it'll help other people in the comments as well. And that's gonna be it for today's video, you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.